What's up everybody? Welcome back to the Good View Woodworks channel. If this is your first time here, thanks for hanging out with us. As I'm in here cleaning my shop, getting ready for our next project, I wanted to take some time and go over one of the most frequently asked questions on this channel. And it goes something like this.
Hey, I enjoy your videos, but how do you price your projects?
Hey Nathan, how do you know how much to sell your projects for?
Hey, I got one question for you. How much do you charge for your products? You know, and so on and so forth. So I get a bunch of comments that are the same question, just in different ways. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna show you how to price your projects in 3 easy steps. Check it out. Step number 1 is probably the most important step. Step number 1 is come up with an hourly wage for yourself. This is probably one of the hardest steps, but also the most important step. The reason why you want to come up with an hourly wage for yourself is that our time is our most valuable asset. And this is the hardest because deep down, you know, we don't want to overcharge somebody, or we think that it's too expensive, or whatever the price, whatever the reason may be. The problem is we have a limited amount of time, and we want to make this business worth our time, right? So when I first started, there was a way that I figured out to help me figure out that price. And it started something like this. What are my goals? My goals are that I want to have a business to support our family so that my wife could stay home with our adopted child. So she works for an hourly wage and I work for an hourly wage, and I thought to myself, okay, to keep the same lifestyle we have right now, I need to make what my hourly wage is and what her hourly wage is combined. So hypothetically speaking, let's say that she makes $18 an hour and I make $16 an hour. Together, that is $34. So then, if I wanted a business to sustain what we're doing right now, I have to make $34 an hour. So let's just take that, okay? So take an example like that and come up with your hourly wage. I did something very similar. Obviously, it might be a little bit more than that because I don't want to just sustain what I have going now. Right now, I want to provide a little bit more for our family. So take that in mind. Step number 1 is value your time. Put a value to your time. Step number 2. Step number 2 is an easier step, and that is price your materials. When you are about to build a project, most customers want a quote. And so you have to get used to getting the price of all your materials and adding them together so you know how much you're going to spend to build your project. Part of step number 2 is once you have all the materials, let's say you're doing a river table, you need the wood, you need the materials for the form, you need caulk, you need hardware like screws and such, you need epoxy, you need metallic powders if you want to change the color. There's several things that you need. And what I suggest is once you have all those added up, to add 15% of that total to that number. The reason why we do this is because you can't always have all of your materials drop shipped to your house. Some of the materials you have to actually drive your car and go get them. And remember, time is money. Also, fuel in your car is money. So what I suggest, add 15% to that total number of materials so that it takes care of all the extra time it takes to acquire those materials. So that's the end for step number 2, materials plus 15%. Step number 3. Step number 3 is practice makes better. Ready? Read my lips.
Practice makes better.
And the reason why I say practice makes better is because nobody's perfect. There are always going to be things that inhibit you to make the project exactly perfect. whether there's a micro bubble in your epoxy, whether a bug lands in the coat when it's not quite set up. Maybe while you're recording and uploading your video to YouTube, the power goes out and interrupts it. There's a lot of things that we don't have control over. And so I want to put it in your head that practice doesn't make perfect, but it does make better. And so I would suggest when you guys are building your projects, mark down how much time it takes you to build your projects. Okay? And you will notice after each time that you mark down your time, you're going to get faster. So before you start charging somebody else, get a good idea of how much time it's going to take you to build a certain thing, and that way you can accurately give them a quote. Does that make sense? So, to summarize the whole thing, starting from step 3 and working backwards, practice. Practice makes better, not perfect, and it will help you to give an accurate quote. Step number 2, materials plus 15%. Step number 1, value your time. Put a value to your time. So to accurately come up with a quote, you want to practice so you know how much time it takes. Take the time that you think it's going to take, multiply that by your hourly wage, and then add that to your materials plus 15%. And that will accurately tell you how to price your project. So guys, if this helped you out, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this with a friend. Guys, I hope that you can take this information and use it, and hopefully this will help your business grow and help you accurately give somebody a quote and accurately pay yourself for the time spent on your awesome projects. With that being said, guys, thank you for hanging out with us in the Goodview Woodwork Shop. This is a quick video, and I wanted you guys to learn, and hopefully I answered that question that has been frequently asked. And so without further ado, you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out with us.